Star Fox is finally out and is the third version of this game. And is it the best one? Well, let's find out. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sigma Duocast. I'm your host, Rick, and today I am being joined by Gregory, who is the owner of TerrorShot Gaming. Be sure to check out his social media, TikTok, and all that on all the gaming news that he provides when he has the chance to provide all that. Today, we're going to be talking about Star Fox, the remake on the Nintendo Switch 2. We talked about it about a month or so ago. And so now we finally have it in our hands. We've played it. We've beaten it. We've played it over and over and over because it's one of the shortest games that's out there. But there's so much to do. We're going to give you our thoughts and review on that game. And then after that, we will briefly talk about some of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time stuff because we haven't had a chance to chat about it together. And then there is an interesting rumor leak that got dropped today that Greg showed, and so we'll talk about that. It's about another major Nintendo franchise, so stick around towards the end so you can hear what those leaks are. I'll let Greg kind of share that with us because he found that today. So let's jump right into it. Greg, what's up, man? And welcome to the cast again. How is the Star Fox journey going?
I'm doing barrel rolls as we speak, man. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's Star Fox. I think when we last talked about it, it's Nintendo capturing lightning in a bottle, and they just, they don't have to stem too far to get people to go, hey, remember this awesome game that you played? Well, let's have you revisit it again. You're gonna love it again. And that's kind of where I'm sitting right now. So it's fun. It's a faithful recreation of the N64 classic. Better than ever with new visuals, new content, marginally, I mean, nothing groundbreaking to the gameplay, but enough to, kind of make you realize, oh, they kind of want you to feel something a little different with this one, and depending on the routes you take, it can really deliver on that end. And so, and then the online battle modes have been fun too. I've been having a blast playing those. Those are actually kind of addictive. I just hope they add more maps.
3 maps. Hopefully they'll give us more DLC for it. I didn't realize that you can play against bots on that. So having the ability to play bots and then online with others, I think it's super awesome. Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't realize just how much of a 1-to-1 remake it is to Star Fox 64, which Star Fox 64 is kind of like the 3D transition of the SNES Star Fox, just, a lot more fluid. I feel this game is a remake, reboot, reintroduction to this franchise because I hope that Nintendo has very, very big plans of the future when it comes to Star Fox. I think they are going to rebuild this franchise for the new generation of audience gamers and everything, as well as the legacy fans. I'll be one to tell you up front that I am not like a super hardcore Star Fox fan. When it came out on SNES, I didn't really know too much of it. I was aware of the game, but it wasn't my cup of tea. When Star Fox 64 came out, definitely bought it day one, big box with the Rumble Pack. First game to have the Rumble Pack for N64. My brother bought it. He was addicted to the game. When I played it, it was hard as hell for me. It was a whole thing. After that, I didn't really play anything else. I did play Star Fox Adventures on GameCube, which gave us that third-person action adventure type of game. But then I didn't really play anything else. They've done a couple games after that with Zero Guard and all that. And this one, though, going back to this, with that all being said, playing this one and going back to it, it was very refreshing. It gave me that nostalgia kick, but it also felt brand new, especially considering that I wasn't heavily playing Star Fox 64 like crazy. So when I did my first playthrough, I actually live stream it. You guys can check that out on YouTube. I will be doing Nintendo live streams. I don't know if I'll venture into other consoles, but for sure Nintendo Switch live streams on YouTube. And so my first playthrough, like, I kind of went into it, I was like a brand new gamer, but also I'm aware of what's going on. And I miraculously, I somehow went through the top and got the true ending on my first playthrough. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah,
I saw that.
This game was, I don't know what it is. It's so refreshing. And I hope, I haven't really paid too much attention to like the consensus out there from people, but I hope that people buy this game and they love it and they enjoy it and they play the hell out of it, because I truly want to see what's to come. I kind of have we'll talk about it in a little bit. I have some hopeful speculation hopes of what the next looks like. But before we get into that, like, let's just dive into like what made this game so much more special than the originals from 64 to now. Like, how did you, when you were playing it, how did you feel and view it?
It just feels to me like it's the same sort of familiar action, but revitalized with, of course, the fresh coat of paint with visuals and the attempt at revising the dialogue in such a way that makes the characters feel a little bit more personable and has a little bit more of like, not much as in Nintendo fashion, but enough to go, okay, I care a little bit more about this character, or hey, I kind of like the banter between these guys, and I kind of want to pay attention a little bit more than just, okay, here's your next mission. I'll do my best, General. Okay, good luck, and then there you go. Right? That's how the original went, right? But this one, it's like, well, I'm just gonna jump in. I'm okay.
Yeah, go, man.
I can't really. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it because I mean the game's been out for a week now. And honestly,
there's no spoiler. There's no spoiler filter here. We're gonna. It's the N64 remake. It's literally the N64 game. Yeah. So if you've had 15 years to play this damn game. So
plus more than that.
I don't know how I can't. Oh yeah, that's right. We're in 2026. Jesus Christ. Time.
No, so there's a cutscene in which where based on how you do the events of the game on your path, Slippy actually falls behind. And he's actually trapped on in his cockpit in an Artwing, like off, away from the Great Fox. And General Pepper is trying to write off Fox's, loss as like my condolences for your loss. I know it must be hard to lose a comrade. And Fox actually kind of snips back. And he's kind of like, with all due respect, General, you have no idea what it feels like to lose a comrade, so you can suck it, basically.
What? When is this?
And Falco and Pepe actually back him up, and you see a little bit of actual like care from these characters about their comrades. And Falco, who seems like this hotshot flyboy, who doesn't have much emotion, who's just kind of cocky and kind of more competitive and kept to himself, shows a little bit of actual concern for Slippy. He's like, "You'll be okay, right? You'll be fine." It's like it's kind of cool to see that, right? And it kind of plays into, I think, a little bit of what you were mentioning, which is we're ready to go past the Lilat Wars and go into a whole nother story, I think, with this. And I think Star Fox feels like it's on, the cusp of greatness. It's relevant again. The Mario Galaxy movie reintroduced Star Fox, to the masses. People like, oh, I remember that game. And yeah, it exists. And now here it is. You can go play it on a fresh new console you just got, probably because your kids love the Mario Galaxy movie and wanted the new Mario Galaxy game and switch to it. Oh, hey, look, now you got something else that you can play. And it's a damn good time. So I think for me, to kind of answer more of your question, the feeling that I had was this is what I saw as a kid.
Right.
But because of technical limitations, we couldn't, right? But my heart and my imagination was already there.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to see. This is what a remake is supposed to do. It's supposed to bring you something that couldn't have been achieved for a few reasons, due to either technical limitation, due to, a change in artistic direction, but typically, in my opinion, due to some form of technical limitation with your artistic vision that couldn't be fulfilled back then like you wanted to, right? That's usually how I see it. And I think this game delivered on that while still keeping it very faithful to what, the the game was. There's more nuanced, fleshed out cutscenes, bringing you even more secrets about the lore of the story and the characters themselves and the actual logs if you actually look at them deeply.
Yeah, that I really like.
So it's what a remake of this game should be without straying too far away from, what made it so beloved in the first place. Do a barrel roll, do the somersaults, all range mode, upgrading your G diffuser, getting all blasters and shield upgrades. Like, it's a damn good time. This is the definitive way to play this game with some minor quality of life improvements I feel like that could be made that the original actually had over this one. It's so minor that I can ignore, and I've already gotten adjusted to it. But
what is it?
Like, for example, in the original, you would blast like you would land your attacks on your enemy, and your enemy would flash like red or white, and you would actually know that your attack landed, like your hit landed.
Oh, gotcha.
Right? And this one, you can't really tell that. So for me, from a muscle memory kind of perspective, as somebody who's played this game time and time again, at least a couple times a year, it's one of my favorite 64 games. It kind of threw me off a bit, but it's not something that can't be adjusted. I think it's something that could easily be fixed, or added even. But it's not detrimental. Like, to new players, they won't even notice it. So
I think you kind of get that though. I think kind of flash.
Kind of,
it's
but it's
subtle,
not the
but
same.
It's
like,
not in your face like the original.
If you go back and play 64, like the original, you will know what I'm talking about. You could,
yeah, I actually did, because I wanted to see how close it was, and even to your point, some of the dialogue, it's literally the exact same dialogue. It's just, it goes to show how voice actors can make any actors really can make us the same dialogue, the same lines, be different depending on who's saying it and how they're acting. One of the best examples out there is the movie Heat, which is a remake of a movie. I forgot what it was called, but they made one. Michael Mann made the movie Heat with different actors, and then he did the exact same movie with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. And if you watch the scene in the diner of De Niro and Al Pacino, and you watch the original film actors, dude, like, it's the same script 100%, but the way the lines are delivered, especially De Niro and to the other actor, it's night and day. And that's the cool thing about Star Fox, is that a lot of the dialogue, everything is the exact same. It's just said differently. It's presented differently, with the cutscenes being a little more cinematic. I think, a couple things for me is that with this game, it goes to show how great the N64 was and their games. Yeah. Like, that era of Nintendo is just so phenomenal, and it continues to impress, because the fact that they took that game, the original game, and then they went ahead and just remade it with obviously phenomenal graphics on the Nintendo Switch, better, I felt, controls, and in my honest opinion. It is a little easier. I gotta get that expert mode so I can get so I can start sweating. But and then just keeping everything almost the same. I think, like I've already said, this is the best way to reintroduce this franchise to the new generation, and I hope that we're going to get a lot more. Overall, I think this game is, for me, like, if I were to give it a rank, 1 out of 10 being the best, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Easy. Mm-hmm. Is there a couple things that I would, what was that? Go ahead.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Is there a couple things that I would like to see? I mean, I would like, obviously, the little battle we talked about, some more maps, which that's fixable. I would have liked a little more. I know they have it in the logs, but I would have liked a little more, like, in the cutscenes, to expand more on, like, the relationship of the characters.
Yes,
they did give us, like, a whole intro prologue of James McCloud, which I thought was awesome, but it didn't have enough of that emotional connect until when you get to the point of, like, the end, if you get the true ending and you're flying out of there. Like, it wasn't as emotional as it could have been. It was too much the same as the 64 one, which is fine, because if they're reserving that for potentially a Star Fox movie to really explore that, then great. But as far as the game goes, I think that was probably the only missed thing for me, is that they could have done a little more for the story. because again, going back and you listen to the script, it's almost word for word the same stuff. It would have been nice just to kind of expand a little bit on it. But other than that, the gameplay, the visuals, everything was fantastic. I love the options. The replay value in this game is crazy to me. From challenges to all the other levels and achievements, it's insane.
Have you gotten expert mode yet?
No, I just said that. I haven't gotten the medals to get expert mode.
Sorry, I'm just totally tone deaf. I'm just not, my ears are just bad, I guess. Wow. Sorry. Gee, my bad. It's tough, but and I love that. And this is a game I watched your stream. Thanks for the shout out, by the way. Yeah, I gave you that tip on how to do that, and on that battle.
And now, dude, like it's so it's so easy to me. I kill those dudes in less than like 60 seconds. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. You have to remember that it's like use your map, use your somersaults, use your U-turns. Lock-ons just don't work the same because their shields are enhanced.
Yeah.
In this point of the story, so it just doesn't work the same. But just head-on blasting and getting those upgrades as early on as you can before you jump right in can really help. But it's a fairly safe and exciting remake. But at the same time, kind of like you mentioned in the beginning, it also attempts to be a reset of the franchise, right? And and I wonder if in some ways that could be kind of like a confusing message for maybe some people.
How so?
But it's do we continue the story from here, or do we try something else? Because I remember our last conversation with Star Fox was, this is going to be its own thing, and then we'll see another Star Fox game that's completely different from this.
Yes.
That may be separate from the remake. You still stand by that?
Yes. So perfect segue, by the way. Fantastic.
Yeah.
For me, this was, like I've already said, it's a remake, reboot, reintroduction. No better game to do that. They introduced the mechanics, they introduced the difficulty, they introduced the characters. We got everything going. What I hope to see, not only a movie on its own, which doesn't have nothing to do with anything outside of that, it's the franchise growing, but what I would like to see is same treatment, visuals, same everything. You got it. You got the foundation. Star Fox 2. The SNES one that we kind of got in the SNES Classic Mini, and then even now on the Nintendo Switch Classics that you can play. That game wasn't fully fleshed out. It wasn't fully done. So the way you can do a whole new game that feels completely different, but at the same time, a remake, or better yet, just redoing it in general, is Star Fox 2. Because I went back and I played Star Fox 2 briefly on SNES, and I didn't really play it when it came out and stuff like that, but I didn't realize some of the mechanics it has were like, and I mean, for one, it's super limited because they just kind of slap together a few little things here and there. It's not a full, complete game. But the fact that you can, in this game, you're charted almost a linear path. You can choose a couple. There's a couple moments. There's 16 stages. There's a couple stages where you can go either here or here, and that's it. In Super NES Star Fox 2, you actually can fly. I'm all doing these hand gestures and stuff like a kinder, like I'm a teacher for kids. You can fly freely throughout the map. And throughout the map, there's missiles and battleships and this and that being sent out. So then you got to prioritize, do I go and attack this missile that's coming that's about to hit Corneria, or do I go to this mission? Like, there's pretty much free roaming in a sense of the space and all that. So that's how you can bring in it. Again, it's going to be new because not a lot of people play SNES Star Fox 2, let alone that's not a complete game. But to bring it into the 3D world that was never made on 64 or anything else, to bring it into the Switch with the same style that we just got, dude, we're going to get the true sequel. You can expand on the story, you can expand on the characters, and you can introduce new gameplay that's been never before seen, just in a 2D realm. So that's what I believe. That's what I hope for, is that the next Star Fox we get is going to be the true sequel of what we were supposed to get many, many, many years ago on SNES.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. and I agree. I actually have no objections at all. The style of these characters, especially has grown on me a lot. I think it's perfectly fine and acceptable. I think this works. The cartoony style that everybody was kind of debating about in the beginning when this was first revealed was kind of a throw off, including for myself. But but it's perfectly acceptable. It works, and I feel like like you said, right now is the perfect time to do that because now you've got everybody on this and newcomers. Whether you're an R-Wing veteran or you're, a rookie flying at it, it's like this is the game that reestablishes Star Fox as a prominent, big franchise in addition to the others that Nintendo has. And so, of course, it makes sense to pick up from here. The sequel to Star Fox 64, or aka just Star Fox, I said that backwards. The sequel to Star Fox, aka Star Fox 64, is Star Fox 2 on Switch 2. And I would love to see that, yeah. And I think pulling elements from Star Fox 2 on Super Nintendo, and even I don't know if you ever got the chance to check out Assault. If you can, even if you got to emulate it, please do. It's a great game. Made by Bandai Namco. It's not in-house, but it's still a really great example of how you can blend.
Hey, Namdai Banco does some pretty good Nintendo games.
They do. They really, really do. So, great example of footwork with, Landmaster and then blasters on foot and in the air. I feel like if you could take elements from that game and SNES Star Fox 2, yeah, we'd have a really nice contender on our hands here. And yeah, exactly. Not just the movie, but the story totally has room to continue. It just feels like a really good time to be a Star Fox fan, honestly. And if you haven't yet, it just feels like a good time to buy into it and really check it out.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole lot of potential.
Here's the thing, and Nintendo is I'll say they're very rare in letting people down, but they do, but it's very rare. I have so much high hopes with this franchise. Like, this game has genuinely, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I even said it when I streamed, like I wasn't the biggest Star Fox guy. Like, I played 64. That's about it. I didn't really play anything else. I think I owned 0 or one of the games. I don't know. But I never really played anything else. Adventures. I didn't even know Star Fox Assault, which was released on GameCube as well. I didn't even know that game really existed. I thought that was for some reason a 3DS game. But, I didn't play big on that. But right now, with the hype of the film, because Glenn Powell, man, he knocked out Fox McCloud so well. I want to see a damn movie, and I want him to be Fox, and I really, really want Michael B. Jordan to be Falco. I think the dynamic there would be freaking hilarious.
Oh my god!
And I would love to see James McCloud, if they can do it. Tom Cruise, bro, I'm telling you.
Oh my god!
The best. It would be the best movie. They would have to figure out how they can get these actors. I don't know about Peppy and Slippy. They can figure Peppy. I'm thinking. I don't know. I was thinking of Ron Swanson for some reason, but I don't know.
Yeah.
and then
he's not. They're completely different characters, though.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're thinking Parks and Rec. Ron. Yeah. That just.
But yeah, and then Slippy. I don't know who can be Slippy. I watched Silicon Valley.
You can get Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz, who's also in Parks and Rec. He's Sonic,
he's Sonic.
Basically.
He's Sonic. See, I don't know.
Yeah,
so no, I think who I would like. Hold on. Let me see if I can get the name. Let me see. I was thinking of Silicon Valley because to me, Peppy's not Peppy. Slippy's a nerd. And
that show's amazing.
I was thinking of Thomas Middle, either
yes,
him or Zach Woods. Yes. One of them two would be hilarious to me, dude.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yes,
I think there's some great casting that they can do out there. And yeah, and then as far as Andros goes, I don't know, dude. I'm thinking. I don't know why, but I'm thinking like I'm thinking like a Javier Bardem, Benicio del Toro.
You can get Andy Serkis, who's Lily.
Oh, dude, perfect. Yeah, and then especially if they just do facial. Oh yeah, yep. I'm great with that. Yeah, his voice, his range on that. Yeah, bro. Yeah, and he's already done a monkey. He's done Planet of the Apes. Yep, Andros is a monkey, right?
Yep, exactly.
It's a primate.
That was the not Snoke, but it was actually Rise of Planet of the Apes that made me think, yeah, you could do it, easy,
dude.
So,
dude, and that's the other thing. Real quick, mentioning Snoke, the Star Wars feel to this game was amazing to me, And I even said it on my stream is like, I really wish this team somehow got the rights or just the licensing to recreate Star Wars Rogue Squadron. Like the way this game plays, like it's perfect for Squadron. You can do it, either remake it or just retell a whole new story, but have it play like the original. Not let EA do the crap they're doing. So, anyways, what's one thing with the Star Fox Assault that I wanted to ask you? Because I know Adventure, just to add to like what could they add or do differently for a sequel? Does Assault offer third person, like you can land and get out of your ship, or no?
In some segments, yeah. So the game is very linear. So unlike other Star Foxes that we've talked about here, there isn't any opportunity for you to branch off and like choose your own path. It's the same path. So it's the only linear if you don't count Adventures, it's the only linear Star Fox game. So no matter what you do, the results will remain the same. But in certain levels, certain segments that you're in, you can choose back and forth between flying your R-Wing and then landing it and getting on foot. There are those segments where
I think that's the only thing I would like that would be very interesting to be. So here's my four things I would like to see. Mm-hmm. Obviously the what are the R-Wings? Obviously have those. Yep. I wouldn't mind another submarine level, to another water level. Let's give it some love. Let's make it a little more awesome. Obviously the was it the tank? What's it called?
The Landmaster.
The Landmaster. I don't know if there's any other vehicles. The one thing I will say, hold on, before you say it, the only other thing I would like to see, and this is in Star Fox 2, that's NES, is the R-Wing can transform into like a little mech, like a little AT-AT.
Yeah.
Or AT-ST.
Yeah. That does exist. That's also in Star Fox Zero. But yes.
And so and then if you add like being able to get out of the vehicle, maybe a couple little missions on foot or something, those 5 things on top of just more worlds, free roam, some better battles, and what have you, I think would be freaking phenomenal for a sequel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and it excites me from my point of view to see you as someone who is like familiar with the franchise but hasn't been so enthused or like as knowledgeable of it, like say like myself is, or others that I talk to about Star Fox, and seeing your excitement just makes me really excited for you because now if you really wanted to, you can go visit some of the other Star Fox games and kind of catch up a little bit if you want to. Not that they're by any means necessary for story progression, because let's face it, there just isn't. I mean, they were really close. I don't know what happened. It had something to do with Rareware and the acquisition of that and stuff like that. But they had something going, and it just kind of fell off. But I mean, either way, you can just go appreciate the franchise for what it is now, and just kind of gather all this intel and your own experience, and just really voice that further, into the next game. I think it's so cool. I'm excited to see your excitement for it. Really, that it's so cool.
Do you think that this will be a studio, Velen Studios, that Nintendo will potentially acquire?
I mean, Nintendo doesn't acquire things just for the sake of acquiring. They're not like Western, companies who are just trying to, make these acquisitions for the sake of doing it for, dollars, right? I think they do it because of talent. And I think that's kind of what you're probably leading your question with, because Velen Studios has proven their talent with this game. It's already, I think, their most performing, product that they've put out there based on the research I've done. They did Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, which is the little RC.
That's the only really Nintendo product they've done.
Yeah. They did acquire, if I can recall from memory, Next Level Games, which does Luigi's Mansion, Mario Striker series, Punch Out. And then they've done Monolith Soft, who does like Xenoblade, supports with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and co. I don't know. I mean, I never say never, but I feel like the reason that they do it is not so much for the sake of, doing so, but it's just,
I think it goes back to how they preserve their franchises. So if Star Fox becomes a prominent franchise,
Right.
I kind of feel like they would potentially acquire them, so that way it's like, hey, you guys are now.
Well, right. We can kind of, I'm going to kind of jump out a little bit here and say there are studios, say like Mercury Steam, who aren't acquired by Nintendo, but are still seemingly doing some very big developments with that franchise for Metroid, right? And they're still here and they have a good relationship. I think they're big on relationships and building enlisting that trust, right? When it comes to acquisitions, I think it's because the companies themselves put themselves in that position to where, hey, we're up for bid right now, and Nintendo's just the first one to scoop them up because they're like, that's just too valuable of a relationship. So I think they look at it from that perspective as opposed to, hey, I've got all of this under my belt, I've got new leadership, and yeah, this is more money in my pocket. That's like, I'm sorry, I'm talking about Bobby Kotick and Activision and Microsoft, that whole bit. This is not that kind of situation. So, yeah, it's definitely a talent and relationship sort of thing. But I think primarily first they want to keep that steady so they don't have to be forced into that position to have to buy. I think because they're not that kind of company.
Gotcha. Okay, so we talked about what we would like to see in the sequel. Hopefully we get it. What do you think if we do get a sequel, when do you think an ETA would look like?
Probably within the next few years. I'd say like maybe 3 years is what I'm going to say.
Really?
I'm going to say, yeah. I mean, and the reason I say that is because given the projected timeline of the next movie for Mario, being that they've already introduced Star Fox, if they're planning on doing something in between, like another spin-off / Star Fox movie, they'd probably want to coincide that release with another game. And I know there's been discussion about how Nintendo doesn't necessarily try to plan for these sorts of things too heavily, but if it coincides and it happens to make sense, they will. But I feel like this is one of those things where this game was developed, I think, in like less than a year's time, if I read correctly. I'd have to fact check myself on that, but I think I remember reading somewhere that this was developed in like a little less than a year's time, which is impressive. But also not because it's expected, because it's quite literally a 1-for-1 exact same game. I'm not even surprised if they use the exact same source code as the 64 game. But now that you're developing original stuff and, which would be expected for an original sequel, I don't know. I just feel like 3 years is kind of what we're thinking. If they do see this going forward in a direction where this is a prominent franchise alongside the big five that Nintendo has, then yeah, I would say 3, maybe 4 years max is what we're looking at. If you want another relevant entry on this system, and not wait another console generation before another one happens. But honestly, even me saying another console generation out loud just sounds kind of unlikely, just given this. That's how things are. So I just really don't know.
I'm hoping either.
I'd say
what's that?
I'd say like about 3 to 4 years.
I'm hoping 2 to next year or 2 years. I think
that would be optimism. That's optimism.
I'm expecting
that really is.
I'm expecting a quick turnaround.
Okay.
I hope so.
Okay. I hope so too. I hope to be wrong, but I also, just like you, try to keep my expectations in check, and also would like to confidently say that they really would want to take their time with something like this. If they really want to give like the next big hoorah, the next big original entry, they'd want to do it right.
Correct. All right. So we both gave it 9 out of 10s. I think it's a great game. Highly recommend it. If you guys haven't played it, go get it. If you have a Nintendo Switch 2, it is a must play, must have, especially because it's a physical game. So let's go
here. Proud owner.
There we go. So let's go ahead and let's briefly talk about Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I will say with the release of Star Fox, I'm a little concerned with what Ocarina of Time is going to be. The fact that Star Fox is a 1-to-1 remake, with phenomenal graphics, I genuinely hope that is not the direction of Ocarina of Time. I don't believe that's the direction.
I don't think,
but I don't know, dude, because I wouldn't be surprised now after seeing this game. I would not be surprised that that's what we get. I want a full open world game, fully I know they handled Zelda a lot different than Star Fox, obviously, but I don't know, man. I really, really hope that that's not the case. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get a direct I'm assuming maybe in September we'll have a dedicated direct. But you saw the trailer, the little less than 60-second clip of what they've shown really wasn't anything. What was your thoughts on Ocarina of Time? The inevitable announcement, because we knew it was coming because of the leaks. But
did you see my reaction?
Yeah, where you guys were viewing it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all that needs to be said. It's just I'm excited. Mainly because of like kind of what I was saying earlier. I just am so thrilled to be able to share such a game like this with my loved ones. And and I got so emotional at the reveal of this because it feels like the end of a big chapter for me. As someone who played this as a kid with my dad, and now anticipating around the time my son will be born, so will this game. And it feels so weird saying that because I still feel like a kid thinking about this game and the emotions that I felt when playing it. And now I get to quite literally share this experience one day with my son when he's old enough to play. And he may even give me the whole, "Dad, why the graphics look like shit?" kind of thing. You know?
I know by his time.
I don't know.
Let me show you the real graphics.
I really don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna raise him better than that. But anyway, I am emotional. I'm excited, and I know that this chapter closing is opening it now another one, and that's really exciting for me to, in my shoes, in this unique circumstance, be here for. But what I'll say this too is like outside of just my own thoughts on that is in the reveal. Because you kind of touched on it a little bit yourself in the previous episodes where you were talking about this. I listened to it, and people just need to just shut the hell up and just sit back and let them do their thing.
Yeah.
There is I won't name names here, but there are some people that I talk to that have given me the reassurance that Nintendo as a company is always working on something Zelda related. Always. There is never a time in their fiscal year that they aren't. Whether it's as big as Breath of the Wild or as little as Triforce Heroes, right? There's always something being made. And if what we saw, which is again just a little 60-second snippet of a boy laying on a haystack, which to me already looks visually impressive.
100%.
I was not expecting that direction.
Told
to be
you.
Quite honest with you, we talked about this before. I wanted it, and it looks like that's what we're getting. Right? We dubbed this the FF7 remake treatment. Okay, yep. But if this is truly what we're getting, we're in for something really, really special. And I think that they would not just let this be something as small as a 1-for-1 remake. But that's also not to belittle Star Fox's, upbringings here, just to be very clear when I say that. Star Fox was in need of that. So that's a different kind of situation.
100%.
Zelda doesn't need this game, period. But it's getting it because the game was already a critically acclaimed 10 out of 10, the first, I believe, by critics to be a 10 out of 10, I think ever. And that's a really high bar to already try to surpass. When you already have a game that's 10 out of 10 and you're rebuilding it from the ground up, that's a really high bar to set. But if there's one company that could do it, it's them themselves, right? So that tells me already there's something here really special that we're about to dive into when you consider the fact that developers are still, like you mentioned, taking things and elements from games like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time to this day, as influence and inspiration for their own games. If Nintendo's going to reinvent the wheel on something that has been a lasting legacy in terms of development and foundation of game, development, then yeah, it's got to be really damn big. And I'm not trying to get anyone's hopes up here, but this already tells me, with what I know, what I've been told, and what I've seen, this is going to be something very, very special, and I don't think we have any room for concern about how this is going to play out for people when it releases this year. And I don't think it's going to be a one-for-one, just skin visual over Ocarina of Time, the original. It could be. I'm not denying that possibility, but my heart does not. And my, the insights that I've been given and told, I don't anticipate it.
Well, I told you when we did the episode talking about Zelda. I mean, I told you it's going to be more Breath of the Wild-esque, and you're like, what? And so that's what I'm expecting. I mean, I'm trying to keep my expectations really low, but I am expecting a Breath of the Wild feel, not the full like size of it, but I am expecting that. I would love to see that of Ocarina of Time. And with that, it includes like obviously expanding on the lands that are already there, like Gerudo, Death Mountain, Kakariko Village, Zora Domain, and obviously Hyrule Field and the Great Lake Hylia, and then Kakariko Forest. Like and even the castle, if we can expand on those, great, and then add more to it, areas that either have been in other games or we've never seen before, to really flesh out this Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time world. I think it would be amazing.
There are worlds that we were not supposed to see because they didn't make it to the final game.
Yeah, there's a lot of uncut stuff.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, I remember I don't know if it was for GameCube or it was for 64, where they were talking about how there was supposed to be like a spider battle and all this. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I think Ocarina of Time originally was supposed to be the first game to launch on the HDD.
The DD.
Yeah, that whole thing that they did. So there's so much that was left out that they can bring back. I just hope to see that. I'm expecting and hoping something at that capacity, like in the realm of Breath of the Wild feel. I really just don't want to see a 1-to-1, because the fact that I've seen it with Star Fox, and again, it's a totally different situation. It's just a little interesting to me. It's like, that's interesting. But either way, I think it's great. I think it's phenomenal. I genuinely can't wait to see what it's going to be and how it's going to play. I'm definitely going to be patient. When I saw the trailer, truthfully, I didn't really have any emotion to it. I was just like, okay, cool. They officially acknowledged it. Had they shown more for me, maybe I would have been a little like, oh my God. But with what they showed, it was a little underwhelming. But it was just confirmation.
It's a bit of a shame, just given the whole leak nature about this.
Yeah.
This, release.
That definitely ruined the surprise.
Yeah. And I won't dive too much into that discussion, but just to put my thoughts out there really quick, it has really, made me think a lot more about, like, it's not just the people. I mean, we obviously know that leaks hurt companies in ways that we don't, as a consumer, feel ever at all, if not right away. From like, investment dollars to, campaign projects, for advertisement, for like special stuff, for releases of this game, like tons and tons and tons of things that people don't realize are at play when it comes to these projects, these games. And so whenever there's a leak, it harms that too.
Yeah.
But I think the one that people were really stunned by was just the lack of excitement around it. And I think that's because they knew, that they had to put this out there. Just like you, my original thought was, as I'm reflecting on it now, they had a bigger plan to reveal this on its own, in my opinion. Not even in the direct that we got. What would have been their E3 direct, right? They had their own plans to just shadow drop it, give a whole direct, kind of like Star Fox, do a whole ordeal, do like a big thing for it. It would have been a lot more elaborate. It would have been out of nowhere. It would have been a big industry shocker, more than it deserves to be.
Yeah,
I think is the thing.
I agree.
I think a game I think that's where people are a little hurt, is that it deserves to be such a widely acclaimed, reveal and excitement around that, right? It's like, oh my God, this should be bigger than GTA 6. This should be a big deal, right? But
to me, it is.
That. And I think, well, to me, it is too. No. To be very clear, to me, it is too. I don't give
definitely
a
bigger
hoot's ass about GTA 6. I really do not give a flying.
I'll play it.
around
I'll get GTA, but if they come out on the same day, I'll promise you this: if they come out on the same day, I'm playing Zelda before I play GTA. Besides, they'll probably be still installing for all I know. I don't know. I'll just have to put the cartridge in and bam, I'm ready to go.
Meanwhile, Rockstar, we're gonna pop our game right into the system and play it right away.
I don't need a week in advance to freaking install a game to play it. I could just slide it in, and I mean that's what I always say. But anyways,
by the way, Nintendo, you have an opportunity here, Nintendo, to make a gold Switch 2 cartridge. Please do that,
dude.
Please.
Yes,
please do it.
And release a collector's edition with the shiny case, just like the original.
Give me gold Joy-Cons. Give me the dock. Give me everything. Like I don't
take my money. I'm ready. I'm ready to go broke.
You and I will literally reunite in person to do another Zelda console unboxing like we did with Tears.
Oh yeah,
I will do it 1000%.
Oh yeah,
I will.
Even if we meet halfway. Universal Studios. We'll do it at the City Walk of Universal Studios.
There you go. I'm down. Yeah. Thank you. That sounds amazing. I would love that.
I'll do a console unboxing at a Dodger baseball game. This is the most randomest place ever.
You and your Dodgers, I swear to God, if they did something like that at a Dodgers game, I'd go fucking ballistic.
Hey, Yoshi was there.
I know, but don't you dare put my Zelda. Like, okay, I see him, guys. If you're listening, not watching, Yoshi. Yeah. Anyway, if you put Zelda at Dodgers or something like that, some kind of paywall, I'd be freaking pissed. Anyway,
done.
This game's treatment right here, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I believe is what we are getting for Ocarina of Time, and I am trying to keep my expectations in check, but my insights and my heart tell me that they would not have just let a game this critically acclaimed amount to something as little as a faithful 1-to-1 remake like Star Fox, because you need something right now to install new hardware. You see the memes right now online. Adults, millennials, or whoever are like, I'll never buy a Switch 2. Oh my God, it's Ocarina of Time. I'm going to buy the console now, guys. And it's like, yeah, we already knew that. We already knew you were. So and Nintendo knew it too. So that's the whole joke is a real thing. People will buy the console because that game will literally move people in such a way that no other game could. So I think that game deserves more of a, more justice to it than just a 1-for-1 visual skinned over, remake. So
we'll see what happens. I'm theorizing September we'll get a proper direct. I'm expecting I would like to see a November release. But I don't know if they will, not that they're afraid, but I don't know if they'll drop it around the same time as GTA would. So a December release sounds they're
not worried. They're not worried.
I know they're not worried.
Rockstar shot them in the foot.
I know they're not worried. Way. It's just at the same time though, it doesn't matter whether they're worried or not. You got to release things the right time. And so I can see this definitely being a December release more than anything. Hopefully nothing beyond that. But I would love to see a November release. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get more info. You mentioned leaks, so we'll close out with this final thing. You talked about how leaks suck. They're the worst. They ruin the surprises. They do all that, but let alone we got a leak this morning. We're going to talk about it. What is the leak that you discovered and shared with me? Tell it to the people.
I want to be very clear. I didn't find this. I found a link and I found the story. Okay, so I didn't break the leak. I didn't break this.
Yeah, I'm not saying you created the leak. I'm just saying you discovered it too.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure people.
I didn't say that you were like a spy that went into.
I want to make sure the listeners know this. I didn't break this story. Okay?
No, but actually,
I'm going to read what
FBI.
comes from Nintendo. Yeah, the FBI.
CIA, yeah. Call, come on. We got to lock this guy up. He's breaking into your his top secret stuff. He don't care about the Pentagon. He cares about Metroid.
I'm going to read this from NintendoEverything.com, okay?
Go for it.
Metroid Ravenous has apparently been leaked for Nintendo Switch 2. A listing for the game supposedly surfaced within Brazil's Ministry of Justice and Public Security System.
See, call the CIA.
Has already been removed, but not before a screenshot was taken. And a screenshot of the classification shows stuff in, unfortunately another language that I just can't read, but you could clearly see what looks like a patent or a trademark for the game Metroid Ravenous. The producer and distributor is stated as Nintendo of America. The listing doesn't provide any specific details about the game. However, the classification indicates 2026 as the production year. Metroid Ravenous could very well be the next 2D Metroid title from Nintendo. It's been about 5 years since the last game, which that being Dread, so that's plenty of time to have a new project ready. Metroid Dread launched for Switch at the end of 2021. If we were to further speculate, Mercury Steam would be the most natural candidate behind this one. The studio who teamed up with Nintendo on Dread, as well as Samus Returns for 3DS. Prime 4 previously came to Switch 2 and Switch at the end of last year, following a nearly decade-long wait. Nothing official at this time. But that is where we're at. So again, I'll read that one more time. The Brazil's Ministry of Justice and Public Security System is what leaked this supposed trademark or filing of this game, and it's stated for this year. So wow,
I don't think it'll come out this year. I think we'll get it spring.
I think
it's production this year, but it's not to release. So ravenous is an adjective that means extremely hungry, famished, or voracious. It also described a powerful, insatiable desire or craving for something like power or satisfaction. Interesting where they're going with that. If that kind of gives us a title that does feel more in realm with Metroid Dread, which was a 2D game, continuance of the 2D series of Metroid. So I think 2D is very highly probable because the 3D, it's dubbed Prime, and they already did Prime. I don't know what it would be. Would it be contained? Because in the last one, Samus got infected, right?
It's Metroid 6, and it's Ravenous because Ravenbeak, and because of her Metroid form, becoming uncontrollable, just like at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
It's coming back. It will literally be another big blow up, I think. Because you would feel like with the ending, it's like, okay, she is now definitively the last Metroid, right? She is the Metroid at this point, right? So it seems to me like if we get Metroid 6, it's just another big, giant ass grand finale. That's what I take it as. And I'd be so down for that. But I mean, there's really nothing really to go off of here besides what you were kind of basing the root word off of. Yeah. Right. So hard to say.
Yeah. I think what's most important to take away from all this is, as we've already said, Nintendo is always working on something with their franchises. And the thing about Nintendo that I personally love is that Nintendo, they keep their stuff under wraps. So a leak like Star Fox and Ocarina of Time pissed the hell out of them, which rightfully does, because they don't announce a game until they're ready to essentially release it within a few months. That's the thing I love about Nintendo. They don't sit here and say, hey, guess what, guys? Outside of the exception of Metroid Prime, because they had to redo development on that. But they just straight up will say, hey, this game is coming out, but it comes out in like a year or 2 years. They don't do that. When they announce a game, something big, they'll say, hey, guess what? This game's coming out, but it's going to be out within the next 6 months, most likely the next 2. Right. But I can't wait to hear. So once Nintendo officially announces this game, expect a release fairly quick. I'm expecting a early spring next year, considering that Ocarina of Time is going to be the main focal point.
Right.
I genuinely do not see them unless they randomly pull up another direct and they say, hey, this game comes out September. You know what I mean? Then it's like, holy crap. So,
right.
But we'll see what that goes. But I'm excited. I'm excited to hear this news, and it's just telling us that they are working on another Metroid, and we got some coming up.
And as Metroid fans, we will be there in full force.
Oh, yeah.
See you next mission.
That's right. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much, Greg. Thank you again for joining me on this episode, doing a little back-to-back action. And I'm pretty pumped. I'm going to have to see you on the Battlegrounds for Star Fox. And then
I tried inviting you last night. You didn't even acknowledge it.
So what I was doing last night, I'll spoil it on here, share it with everyone. because I might upload tonight, if not tomorrow. I was actually recording the full, just no commentary of. Actually, thank you, because you almost ruined it, by the way. But anyways, I was recording actually gameplay, cutscenes, and everything, and I was working on editing last night, putting it all together. I'm doing a mini movie of Star Fox, of the true ending, and doing the top levels. So I spliced it all together from beginning to end. I just finished doing that earlier today. I just removed some certain stuff that's unnecessary. So it'll be a full playthrough, but also give it a cinematic feel. And I'll be releasing that on YouTube. Hopefully tonight, actually. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to try to I'm going to be doing some work. So you know how that goes. So if you're listening to this, it should already be posted. Go to YouTube and you will be able to check out the Star Fox playthrough, true ending, top one. The whole 9 yards there, little cinematic feel to it. That's what I was doing. I actually didn't see your invite, so I don't know how that works. I saw you pop on that you started playing, and thankfully that notification popped up while I was like in one of the menus or something, so it didn't mess up the recording. But I didn't see any invites or nothing. So my bad. Right. But I will. I'm putting together a team. I got you. And then I was talking to the other day when I was streaming. Daniel was on. He used to work at, I don't know if he still used to work.
Yeah.
You remember Daniel? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He did your event. Yep. So I was talking to him. So we just need one more guy, and then we'll go on the Lilat system and destroy anyone that's in our way. So
fair game.
I need to get a camera for my Switch because I want to do the whole AR stuff.
You can just, dude, not even kidding. You can actually just plug in your iPhone and it works.
Really?
It's crazy.
Maybe my face cam works.
Yes.
The Elgato face cam.
Yeah, your iPhone works. It and your face. Yeah, any webcam works. You don't have to get the Switch 2 camera.
Yeah, maybe I just want the Nintendo stuff. You know how I am.
Yeah.
I like the little stand.
You should have just said that from the beginning. That's
what I said. I need the Nintendo camera.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you so much. We're gonna wrap it up here, you guys. Be sure to follow Link, do the whole 9 yards. Also, be sure to follow Greg. It's Terrashock, just Terrashock or Terrashock Gaming.
Yep. Terrashock GG for a good game.
There you go. Be sure to follow him on the social media, TikTok, all that good stuff. We are definitely expanding our realm of the social media platforms and putting our creativeness to work. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've seen a lot of your videos, so go check out his stuff. Follow him as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do a barrel roll.
Till next time, guys.